Hey guys, for day 2 of your weekly word study, you're going to be completing the steps of independent word study for 2 of this week's words. So yesterday, we added this week's words to our personal spelling list, which is located as the first page in your word work folder. And then you also were supposed to find the next clean weekly word study page in your folder, and then you were supposed to write those words in the copy column. So that's what we did in day 1 of word study. Day 2, we're completing these steps for 2 of your words, and you're going to do that in your word work folder. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys started. You should be able to do your word study along with this video. So you should have your folder in front of you, and you should have it turned to your weekly word study page. And then I'm going to walk you through those steps. And so you should be able just to follow along with this video. So we're going to do this just the way we do in the classroom. Read your first word, look at it, and say it. So you're just going to look down at your word study page, you're going to look at the word, and you're going to say your word. My first word is westward, so it would look like this. Westward. All right, guys, go ahead and do that now. Read your first word, look at it, and say it. Okay, the second step is to spell the word to yourself. Touch each letter with your pencil and say the letter softly aloud to yourself. Identify the tricky part of the word and circle it. So you would look down at your word study page. You would spell the word by saying and touching with your pencil each letter. So my first word is westward, so it looks like this. W-E-S-T-W-A-R-D. Now, the last part of that was to circle the tricky part of the word. So the part that gives me trouble, the part that I usually mess up when I go to spell this. And so for me and my word, it was the A in westward. Because to me, that word sounds like it's saying word, like W-O-R-D. But in fact, it is spelled W-A-R-D. So I circled that part. Now I'm ready to go on to the next step. But first, you need to complete this step with your word. So go ahead and spell the word to yourself, touch each letter with your pencil, and say the letter softly aloud to yourself. Then identify the tricky part and circle it. Go ahead and do this now. Okay, now we're ready for step 3. This one's an easy one. Close your eyes, see the word in your mind, say each of the individual letters softly aloud to yourself. So I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to see my word westward in my mind, and then I'm going to say what I see. W-E-S-T-W-A-R-D. Then I'm going to open my eyes, I'm going to look at my paper. If what I saw in my mind matches what I see on my paper, I'm ready to move on to the next step. If it doesn't, then I just close my eyes and I try again. So for the purposes of this video, you're going to do that step now. You're going to close your eyes, see the word in your mind, say each of the individual letters softly aloud to yourself. All right, if you need to repeat that step, you just need to pause this video and do that until what you see in your mind is what you see on your paper. Step 4. Now put your muscle memory to work. Carefully and slowly print the word in the next 3 columns and say each of the individual letters to yourself as you write it. When you come to the tricky part of the word, say those letters louder and write them darker. You guys know that this is a step that lots of people like to cheat on. Again, you're wasting your time if you cheat on it, because the whole point is to use this brain-based method to visually memorize these words. So my word is westward. So in the rewrite columns, I would say each letter as I write it. And when I get to the tricky part, I would say that word or say that letter louder and I would make it darker. So it would look like this. W-E-S-T, W-A. And I would go over that letter several times to make it darker. R-D. Next one, W-E-S-T, W-A. R-D. W-E-S-T-W-A. R-D. Now you go ahead and do that step. All right, hopefully you have finished writing that 3 times in each rewrite column. Now you're ready for step 5, which says take a break of 4 or 5 minutes to give your long-term memory time to process the look of the word, its letters, and their order. Leave behind your spelling and do something else for those minutes. Read, do other homework, watch TV, or listen to the radio. So go ahead and push the pause button now, and when you come back, you'll be ready to start step 6. Push the pause button now. All right, we're back. We're ready for step 6. Come back, cover the correct spelling with your hand, and print the word in the spell column. So for me, I would cover the work that I just did with my word westward, and then I would go ahead and print it in the final column. And I don't have to say it as I write it. I would just write it. You guys go ahead and cover and write your word in the spell column. Do that now. All right, we're ready for step 7. Proofread. Check the word you just wrote letter for letter against the original, back and forth using the tip of your pencil. So you're going to go over where you wrote it originally in the copy column, and you're going to check it with the word you just wrote in the spell column. Don't skip or cheat on this one. Touch it with the tip of your pencil, back and forth. So mine would look like this. W-E-S-S-T-W-W-A-A-R-R-D-D. If you spell it correctly, you'll put a star in the final column and you'll move to your next word. If you spelled it incorrectly, there's no shame in that. You're going to put a check mark there and you're going to repeat these steps with the same word in the spell again row. So if that happens to you, it just means that you did a good job of selecting that particular word and that your brain needs more time with it. Or it could also mean that you didn't do some of these steps the way that you were supposed to, therefore your brain did not hang on to it. Regardless, we're going to redo that work with that same word in the spell again row. So go ahead and proofread right now if you haven't already. All right, we're going to move on to your next word. I am not going to stop and demonstrate with my word. I'm just going to walk you through those steps so that you can complete your second word. So here we go. Read your word, look at it, and say it. Go ahead and do that now. All right, step 2. Spell the word to yourself. Touch each letter with your pencil and say the letter softly aloud to yourself. Identify the tricky parts of the word and circle them. All right, go ahead and do that right now. All right, step 3. Close your eyes, see the word in your mind. Say each of the individual letters softly aloud to yourself. All right, close your eyes, see it. Say each of the letters that you see, and then check to make sure it matches the one on your paper. If it doesn't, just need to pause this video and do it again. So go ahead and close your eyes and do that now. All right, now we're ready for step 4. Now put your muscle memory to work. Carefully and slowly print the word in the next 3 columns and say each of the individual letters to yourself as you write it. When you come to the tricky part of the word, say those letters louder and write them darker. Do that now. All right, now you're ready for step 5. Take a break of 4 or 5 minutes to give your long-term memory time to process the look of the word, its letters, and their order. Leave behind your spelling and do something else for those minutes. Read, do other homework, watch TV, or listen to the radio. Go ahead and push pause now and take that 4 or 5 minute break. All right, we're back and we're ready for step 6. It says come back, cover the correct spelling with your hand and print the word in the spell column. Go ahead and do that now. Cover up all the work you've just done with that word and print your word in the spell column. All right, now we're ready for step 7. Proofread. Check the word you just wrote letter for letter against the original, back and forth using the tip of your pencil. Go ahead and do that now. All right, if you spelled the word correctly, you're going to put a star in the final column and you're done for the day. If you spelled it incorrectly, you're going to put a check mark and you're going to repeat these steps for the same word in the spell again row. And to do that, you can just watch those steps on this video again to do that. So hopefully this was helpful. And now you are ready to turn in today's assignment. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here. You're going to go over here to this practice page, or actually we'll probably say your name here in your work. And I'm going to make my face smaller. There we go. You're going to use this button here to insert an image. You're going to say camera. And then you're going to hold up your completed word study page. Notice I haven't done the whole page because today's assignment was to do 2 of today's words. So I'm going to get them closer. And then I'm going to hit the camera button. And then I'm going to click insert. So it puts that in there. And then all I have to do is click turn in. And then I want to say turn in again. Love and miss you guys. I hope this helped. I hope you are doing well. If you need help or if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me.